The Great Wall is an epic action fantasy movie directed by Zhang Mu, and it stars Matt Damon, Pedro Pascal, Willem Dafoe, and a whole bunch of Chinese actors. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, the most expensive Chinese movie to date. And this movie reminded me quite a lot of 47 Ronin, the 2013 Keanu Reeves movie. You know, that one was set in the feudal Japan, and it's based on an actual story. This one, The Great Wall, it's based on a legend, okay? I don't know if it's even a real legend, if they just made it up for the movie, but the essential story is that the wall has been built to protect it from evil monster lizards that will come to destroy all of China. So Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal are traders that were trying to find gunpowder or some black matter, whatever, and they get captured by the Chinese, but then the monsters attack the wall and they defend the wall, and Matt Damon is a badass, so they keep him. And there is Willem Dafoe in the background just being sneaky and obviously bad. This movie was not good. It has a lot of good things. Well, not a lot. It has some good things. But it has a lot of bad as well. And compared to something like 47 Ronin, I liked 47 Ronin much more, which isn't saying much, honestly, because I do not think that 47 Ronin is a good movie. But first of all, I prefer Keanu Reeves compared to Matt Damon. That movie was also focused quite a lot on samurai battles, hand-to-hand combat with actual people for the most part. And in this movie, however, we get quite a lot, if not only, CGI battles. And when you look at lizards, what I was hoping for in some scenes was to be something more like Starship Troopers, you know? Where there is a great mixture of both CGI and practical effects. This movie has pretty much no practical effects in regards to creatures. The visual effects as well are pretty mediocre, they look fake as hell, and sometimes there is just like some mist or fog in the air, but you can clearly see the creatures stand out from the background. It's not well implemented, honestly, but what I did really like about this movie are the colors, because every single unit on the wall has a different color to it. For example, the archers are colored red, and the girls who have to jump off the cliffs, like bungee jumping to attack the monsters, they are blue. And there are so many colors that make the movie pleasant to look at, and the cinematography is not half bad, it's actually pretty competent. But the real problem is that being almost entirely CGI action or against CGI creatures, there is no impact to it all. You don't really feel the action or the violence happening. And it's PG-13, so the only thing that you really get is some green goo that of course is CGI, so it doesn't even stay on the floor once a monster is being cut in half. And there are some World War Z sequences where the monsters are climbing one over the other to just get on the top of the wall. It's insane, and it's not particularly exciting. The main cast does a fine job for what they're given. It's nothing memorable. Pedro Pascal and Matt Damon do have nice banter back and forth in the first part, but the dialogue as well, it's not interesting. And I did not care for any single character. Even Willem Dafoe is wasted in this movie, and I usually love the guy. The Chinese actors as well, they're good, they're pretty darn good, but there is no real standout performance or even character for that matter. I just did not give a damn. And by not being invested into the characters, by not liking pretty much any of them, you don't care if some die, if some live, what happens to them, if they are actually badasses, because Matt Damon is invincible in the movie. And I was bored. That's the worst scene of any movie. Because at least with 47 Ronin, there were some pretty bad sequences, the CGI wasn't always on point, but at least I was mildly entertained for the entire movie. This movie, no, during the action sequences especially, which is saying quite a lot about them. I was just standing there, okay, oh look, explosions, CGI monsters, yay! More explosions and more CGI monsters, yay! It's very passive action movie. You're not invested, you're not actively participating, if you get what I'm saying. With something like John Wick or Mad Max Fury Road, Dread, the Raid movies, in those action movies you are into the action because of the cinematography, because of the choreography, because you care about the main characters. In this movie I was just watching action unfold, not giving a damn. Some people might enjoy it quite a lot, some people might hate it. I just did not want to watch this movie, honestly, at first, but I gave it a shot. Disappointment. Big disappointment. It's not going to be a bomb because it already released in China and it has grossed over $200 million because why not? But I don't think it's going to do all that well overseas in Europe or in the United States, unfortunately, and maybe even to a fault because there's not really a big market for this kind of fantasy action movies, especially if they're not marketed well. And this movie had pretty mediocre marketing, not interesting trailers, but honestly they do represent the final product. The movie isn't particularly good. So if you want to watch some kind of Asian, East Asia action fantasy movie, I recommend watching 47 Ronin. Even though it's slightly longer, it is slightly more enjoyable, and it has Keanu Reeves, which is way better than Matt Damon in this movie. But still, guys, have you heard of The Great Wall? Do you want to see it or have you seen it? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks guys for watching, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.